this stuff about
Yeah.
them, and they're going,
Yeah.
wow.
It's really crazy. Let me ask you a question. How does this help social media? You guys are social media guys. How does this play in with you?
Social media is just an online extension of reality. You know, we meet at a networking event, or we meet wherever. You carry on the conversation through your favorite medium, whether it's Facebook, LinkedIn,
Right.
any of the programs that are out there. So when you're looking at this, it's just a way to have that conversation. I know when Cheri and I do our show, Cheri has a little mini laptop that she sits in here with, and we have her socialradioshow.com. She brings it up, and people, there's a pinned post to the top, and people ask questions, and we respond to them.
That's crazy.
All but real time,
Yeah. So I've been. I want to let everybody listen, you guys, about about doing a simulcast with a live stream video while you're doing your radio show.
Yes, and we have committed to do that with you.
And we're going to do it. But what is interesting about this is how simple it is now to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's just so simple. It's like, a click and a click, and you're on live, watching a live stream, and on your phone, you're listening to the app or through a web interface or whatever, the show. So you're seeing it's just
technology is amazing, isn't it?
It really is amazing. It really is. How do you guys use it?
Well, we got started in online back in 1998 when we started our very first company, which was Web Connection, which are our initials, WCN, in our current name. But we started developing websites way back when, and I would go out and sell them, and we had a developer that was there. My biggest thing was in '98, I'd walk in there and ask somebody about websites, and
what's a website?
Especially if I was in a professional offices. Just take your imagination and dream what professionals are on that. Most of them, they hadn't even had a computer yet.
Right.
What's a website?
They still had the SwimTech typewriters.
Yeah,
the smart ones.
A lot of them do.
Save the macro.
A lot of them didn't even have the IBM Selectrics of way back when.
That's crazy.
I just love technology. It's fun, and it's always moving forward, never backwards. It's you got to take the jump. You just got to take that leap and understand your parachute will open.
Right.
Not right away,
right?
But it will open. But that's the whole thing. I mean, that's what happened when Cheri and I got on AM. And, from here, we knew our parachute would open, even though we went off of AM where people were. We put it out on social media and let everybody we could know that we were coming over to talknetworkradio.com. And most of them followed us. But slowly but surely, the rest of the people, and as we have national guests, our audience has grown tremendously, and not just in the local market.
No, if you look at our numbers and where we're getting listeners from, it's amazing where we're getting them from. I mean, we have a top 10 country list, and we have a top 10 city list, and I think for a couple of weeks now, the second country most it goes U.S., I think UK, and then China.
Wow.
Yeah. And so in the top cities, though, China isn't listed in the top cities, but we have places like Kentucky and West Virginia and someplace in Pennsylvania and out in Coeur d'Alene. And it's like all over the place, people are tuning in. And it's not just one or two. These are like in the top 5, top 10, top 7% of the listeners, of the overall listeners that are tuning in. So it's amazing, who listens to your show.
And it's amazing to know where they're coming from. No clue what they're doing in China.
Yeah.
We welcome them.
I don't know why they're listening in China. I mean, we've this week, I think, we had some from Brazil. It showed up Brazil. And I know several people that went down to Brazil, and some big names actually that went down to Brazil that listen to our shows.
Oh, wow.
And it's showing up. It's like, wow.
But that's, let's fast forward 5 years from now.
Oh, yeah.
There's no limit to any of this that can go on. And it's not our show and it's not your station. It's just the power of the internet and trying to understand what people really want to listen to and even more than that, what they're going to react to.
Well, you hit a very important point. In broadcast, they don't really get a choice. I mean, their choice is they switch channel to channel to channel. In online, they don't have to listen to the online stream. They can listen to all of the on-demand. So if they have a favorite show, they list up that favorite show, and that becomes their what they're going to listen to that day. I mean, they put it in their pocket, turn it on, and walk.
Put some earbuds in and go.
And go. And they can load it up and get on an airplane and listen to it. They can load it up and, go to work and listen to it.
Shh. The employers don't want to hear that.
It's so portable, and it's so what we need right now. You know, when I was thinking about it, it's like, what would I want to do? How do I listen? And I looked around. I don't have an AM radio or FM radio. I do have a shortwave radio. I'll admit that, but it's like
that's totally different.
I have to get batteries for that, and they're not rechargeables, and so with this, it's like I always have this with me, and I can always tune in whenever I want to tune in. So I want to ask you another question. What would you say to a small business that was thinking about, should we do a show? Should we do a podcast? Should we do this? Should we be a guest? I don't see the payback. I don't see the ROI on this. Why should we do this? What would you say to them?
It depends on who it was, but my who I am, I tend to be just kind of
very out there.
I tend to lay it out, and here it is, take it or leave it type of a person. But try it. What do you have to lose?
You don't have much to lose, and
on this whole thing, just do it.
Right.
And when we got started, Cheri and I over on the AM dial, we were very nervous. We had no clue what we were doing. We still may not have a clue, but at least we're comfortable not having a clue and doing it.
I have a mentor. He says, jump and grow your wings on the way down. And it's like, so many people are like, no, I'll wait and grow my wings and then I'll jump. And it's like, that in this day and time might be the wrong approach, because not a lot of people spend time reading pages and pages and pages of information.
No.
They'll click on it and listen to it. And we're finding that they don't even want to watch it now a lot of times. They click. We're getting more clicks on the audio than we are on the video of the same thing. So it's got to tell you something, right?
No, precisely.
They want to hear your voice.
And that's why the Wi-Fi's come into all the cars, because they want more opportunity to listen to what they want to listen to. And so you put it there, like you said, iHeart, Stitcher, and all the other ones are there. I mean, that's why they're going that way. And, obviously the automotive companies recognize this, and, I imagine a lot of it will be satellite in the not too distant future.
Definitely. I put out an infograph, I guess you would call it, yesterday. It's out on the website. And I don't want to bash the over-the-air guys that much, because they...
Oh, come on.
No, I don't.
No, I know.
But what this infograph points out is that people that listen to both radio and online radio, broadcast radio and online radio, have a tendency to listen to radio and online radio in general, overall, far more than just the people that listen to broadcast radio. So if you have a message or if you have a product and you're not on online radio, you're missing the boat. I mean, it's as much as in like listening hours of 8 to 14 listening hours. It's as much as 10% difference.
That's
10%.
That's a big number when you're talking
number. That's a big number.
Base.
Yeah, and so the people that listen to both broadcast and online radio listen 10% more than just straight broadcast. To me, I know where I would be putting my money. and it's the same with 15 plus hours. It's a higher number than just straight broadcast. That's where that's what I would be doing. If I was a small business right now, I'd be looking at trying to get on your show or other shows or advertise before or after your shows or during your shows, because people are listening. They're listening to the message. I mean, the numbers speak for itself, right?
No, they do. When you showed me those numbers, you emailed them over to me. My jaw basically dropped. Yeah. It's just amazing what's looking at there. And I know Cheri and I have committed to you, and you kind of twisted our arm. We're going to, like you said, do the simulcast.
Yeah.
We're going to go on Facebook Live, and we're also going to send it out through the internet. And it's going to be an interesting comparison over about 6, 8, 10 weeks to see how it all flushes out, to see how it goes. But it can only bring in more numbers.
Well, I'm a firm believer in the old sales adage that people deal with people that they know, like, and trust.
Mm-hmm.
And you can only get so far on the radio part of it. So, but when they see you and they get to know you, and it might only be one time, but they get to know, like, and trust you, and then they're tuning in and they're hearing your message, and they're hearing what you have to say. And if you're an advertiser and you're not tapping into that, all I can say is shame on you.
Take a look. Call Jeff. Call me. Let us know. We'll help you get over the hump. We'll answer your questions.
Yeah. I feel like I hijacked your show here.
No, it's fine.
I do.
My show was to talk to you today, not you to interview me.
It's like, wow, I need to let Richard speak a little bit, but I get so excited about this stuff. And, it really is, I don't want to say bleeding edge, because people have been doing it. There's Pandora and there's iHeartRadio and what have you. They were the ones that were what I call the early adopters. And now we have people like Talk Network Radio and several of the other up-and-coming online radio stations that are making their impression. They're pushing out, and they're making their connections with people. And like you said, in 5 years, I don't think we'll know what this was.
No, we're going to look back and go, remember when?
Remember when we were sitting in that 8x8 room that we called the studio, and now we're doing it, from our car with built-in microphones, and it sounds like we're in the studio?
Well, what we need to do, and I'm going to challenge you to do this sometime in the next 12 months. May I?
Sure.
I think we need to put a cruise or a vacation package somewhere together that we bring people to, and we do live radio shows from there, talking to people.
That would be awesome.
That. I mean, it's kind of like one of the TV networks does an annual show or cruise. Why can't we join together and do something like that ourselves? All your guests, all your sponsors, everybody pays their share, but we do it, and we do something like that and set it out for next summer sometime.
That's awesome. Monday I had a lady, a very amazing lady on my show, Success of Intentional Lifestyle, and she made a very good comment. Everyone has a story. And with what you just said, it's like everybody has something to say. Exactly. They just need the opportunity to say it so people can hear it. And what better way? I mean, you've got a captured audience now, right? And they might have a product, they might have a story, they might have an idea that they just need to get out. It's a really good idea, Richard.
Hey, it's worth a try. The worst case you can do is go have some fun. That's not a bad fallback position to start with.
So you'll have to stay here and run the station, but I'll take your place.
Again.
No, I think that's a great idea. It really is, especially if the numbers continue to climb like they are. It would be a really good thing.